Welcome to Phikelela podcast. Engqindilili. Igama lam ndinguLuvuyo, isename nguNgxiki, iitshomi zam zithi Vovo. Namhlanje I am so excited into yoba i-guest yethu apha yo itshomi yam. Itshomi yam lesiyibizileyo uBongi. Abanye bathi Bongi ke, otherwise ungubongiswa Simon. Intsha kana leka Simon komke antendiqhele. Welcome mancho mam.
Enkosi kakhulu Vovo.
Unjani?
Ndikhona unjani wena? Nervous but yes.
No man, ndiyavuya ba ulapha. Ndiyavuya ba ulapha. Apha ke we inspire, we celebrate, and then we educate. I feel ke wena ke into bangabana isizathu basikubize. I felt into ba istory sakho will definitely inspire someone. I know that because I'm inspired. I'm inspired sizawuthetha singene ngalo. For umuntu ke oqala ukubona namhlanje kubani uBongi?
So, ngokuzalwa ndingubongiswa Magobiyane. Abantu abaninzi abandaziyo ngokukhula abazandaziyo ngibonga Magobiyane.
Sure.
As you say nakwento into kaSimon intsha. But again, for those who know me really well, into kaSimon ayintshanga kakhulu. No, say more than a decade now. Mna ndinzalelwane yalapha eBhayi. Ndizalelwa apha eBhayi ngumamam. Unobambo Magobiyane notatam. Hero yam ke. Uzwele Bhunga Magobiyane.
Okay. Bani tata?
Uzwele Bhunga igama lakhe.
Uzwele Bhunga. Okay.
But abantu abaninzi abamaziyo. Tatam wayesiziteksini bayo kwakuthiwa nguSegobs xa ibizwa.
Oh wow.
Yes, so yayisisiteketiso sakhe eso. Ndizalwa ngabo ke. Ndingumntana ke ndi-first born ekhaya ke. Yeah. Ndingumafungo washe. Yeah, ndibona le nto kuthiwa inkulu ngabafana isuka ndimi inkulu.
Ndikhe ndava nova ke into bangabana odaba babesithi nomnyama xa bekubiza.
Baloqala izinto Vovo. Yayisisiteketiso sikatata in fact siqalwe nguye yes. So ndingumuntu okhule intombi katata kakhulu.
Right.
Formative years, ndikhuliswa zi-grandparents, my paternal grandparents, eNew Bright, eBoost, abantu bayaziyo eBoost.
NanaseBlawa.
Yeah, nanaseBlawa. Ndikhuliswa ngumamkhulu wam uMadlamini. UMadlamini uzoba na 103 years ke this August.
Uthetha ngomntu ophilayo?
Phila qete nakuNew Bright kwakhe. Ndinomyeni wakhe ke my grandfather who passed away a while ago now.
Okay.
So ndikhulela khona, and then at some point maybe I was like 10 or so, then ndahamba ke ndayibazali again. Yeah, otherwise ndingumntwana walapha eBhayi, ukhulela lapha eBhayi, always been in PE, worked here, studied here, yonke into yam ndiyenzele apha.
Oh, unantsika ke umakhulu wam nguMadlamini.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, umakhulu wam nguMadlamini.
Umatata uzalwa nguMadlamini naye.
Okay, but kumbe yayingumama.
Ayayingumama.
Mama ozalwa nguMadlamini.
Okay.
Yazi ba saze saka makhulu ka kwicala kula tata. That's the same name. Just to. Mna ndumfana mase New York.
Yeah.
Is duku.
Siyakusokolisa yaleziduku.
Ndiyothuka naxa abantu mna bathi kum, "Hey, uMivuyo ngumqetha." Hey, okay. Hey, umnyana ngumqetha. Correct.
Yeah.
And correct. So ngoku wakhula eBlawa. Abantu ke ndayazi ke xa umuntu ekulinda ukwengu bayafuna nje uba hayi benifunda naye. Or ummisi mhlawumbe basaphila. Ngephi primary bokuyi?
Okay, so uqala the very first time ndisiya esikolweni, ndina very vivid memories because I was quite young. So ndisikhule ukhaya umakhulu wam notata omkhulu wam, i-grandkids zithanda uba phaa kubo. Yebo, with not all of us living with them, but sasithanda uba together kakhulu ngosasibancinci. So I'm told by my parents into yobana ngela xesha i-cousins zam that were slightly older than me, maybe 2-3 years older than me, zisiya esikolweni, ndarefuse am nohlala eCrèche ndedwa.
Oh.
So at 4 years old I went to primary school. Ndandifunda eArthur Nyobo primary school. Ndandla ngogezela kuthiwa i-suitcase yam yayingangentloko yam yayingaka. So ndafunda eArthur Nyobo because i-cousins zam zazisiya khona eNew Bright, not very far from apho makhulu amakhoyo eBoost. But when I had to start grade 1 ke ngoku when I was 6, ndafunda ePhendla Primary School. Yes, ngwasephendla ndaba sephendla until standard 3, grade 5.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, until grade 5. And then i-primary school ndayigqibela ke ngoku eSifuyiseni primary eMagxaki when my parents bought a house eMagxaki.
Yeah, mntana semaxaki. So inantsika umuntu ke ngojongileyo ndiyamthanda ke ayazi into yoba ngabana hey, our man must accolade for certain things.
Yeah.
So context is going to be important into yoba ke ngoku ngeyiphi le minyaka uthetha ngayo wazalwa ngophi umnyaka. Siyazi ke ngoba ayazi abafana balapha ungusisi
Yaniveza uvovo banimdala. Okay, ndazalwa ngo-81 ngo-August the 16
August.
16 August.
Okay.
Yes.
Noma nenza ngasi 9th leka August.
9th ka-August, a Women's Day, yes.
Okay.
So now I'm born a week later. Yes.
But you Women's Month.
Yes, a Women's Month, yes.
Yes. Wow, okay. Oh, so wakhulela eMagxaki ke ngoku from eNewbrat okanye ufika pha ngoku so
ndifike eMagxaki sendimdadlanyana. I think safika eMagxaki ngo-1990.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah, so that's why xa abanye abantu bethetha ngabantu basemagxakini be-lost bafuneka be-understand khandikhulele phaa ncam. So and asahlala ixesha elide noba we live there only 5 years or so.
Okay.
Yes. So saphinda sibe sesmoother kakhona. So yeah, so ngelaa xesha sihlala eMagxaki then i-parents am felt into yobana kukude la travelling between eMagxaki neNewbright.
Right, sure.
Yes, so banditshintsha ke ngoku ndaya eSifuyiseni apho ndayenza i-2 years ye-primary school ndayigqibela khona.
Okay.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
All right. High school?
High school, I went to high school in 94, so obviously ngokukutshintsha zonke izinto and we were able to access better schools or former Model C schools or private schools, you know. Abazali bam ke at that point, abantu funeka bayi-understand the context. I come from a blue collar family.
Okay.
My mom worked at the municipality for many years. I think she was working there for over 30 years when she retired.
Oh, wow.
And my father worked at Dulux Paints. So I don't come from money or anything like that.
Okay.
Ndivela kwifamily yabazali abaphangelayo, you know. So decide again into yobana look opportunity into yobana sikwazi umsa esikolweni ngathi singconwane more resourced better resourced. Nokuba thina sinazi resources but sizawusacrifice simse. So my parents sent me to Trinity High School.
Trinity.
Yes.
Hey,
That's where I did
Trinity.
So that's where I did high school from grade 8 to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then babekhona nongendi okanye yathini?
Yes, babekhona. In fact, I think onongendi babekhona until, I mean, Trinity has now obviously moved from Central, then they've become St. Dominic's Priory. Onongendi babekhona all the way up until last year. They've moved to Cape Town now. They're no longer here in PE. But okoko babekhona. I mean, I teach as abangonongendi when I was in high school. I mean, you can imagine that it was like the middle of the 90s. So yes, definitely babekhona.
Sure, ndikuvile ke uthetha ngotata Hero. Do you want to talk more on a time
About him?
Yes.
You'll see my face lights up when I speak about him. Because my dad's been gone in November on the 21st. He would have been gone for 20 years.
Oh, my.
So my mom's been a widow for 20 years.
What?
Yeah. And I know people look at her and they're like, no, she can't be, you know, because I'm a full no believe about how old she is, but we won't go into that. She'll kill me. So my father, I think ungoyena umntu ondiformileyo to be the kind of person that I am.
All right.
I always say, I love my mother and all that, but I've always been a daddy's girl.
Okay.
And even today, if I make decisions, the first thing I think about, daddy benothini if bendinohamba le indlela instead of this one. So ungumntu that's constantly on my mind. Because ngoyena mntu be-influence enkulu kum. Yeah. And ngelishwa lam, utata mkhange abe ngumntu enjoy i-fruits of
Sacrifices.
Yes. Utata usweleke nge-21st ka-April. 21st ka-November, sorry. ndigqiba ufunda eyunivesithi ndizograda ngonyaka olandelayo. So utata makandazi ndiyi-professional. Utata msweleka ndisi-student. Look, a bit of that has got a lot to do with me because I had fun at varsity. I'm not even going to lie to anybody here. I had plenty of fun at varsity and wasted a lot of time. But I was fortunate that my parents were like, gqiba ke i-degree sis, thanda ungathandi. Yabona, do whatever, wenza lo mculo wakho nibe nihlala inyuka ne-UP choir all over this world. But ultimately that degree is going to be finished. You know, so as much as that also formed the person that I am, you know, because I don't know, people who've had an opportunity to travel, especially when you are younger, it opens up your mind and you see different things and different cultures. So that's also helped to be who I am, but it also robbed me for utata makwazi experience after being a student. But I always say, sometimes I'm mandanga, but nokuyamkela.
So i-time ayilapho, i-time.
Yes.
I-time ayilapho. Ndiyafuna bona nje into yoba ngabana umuntu use-high school, use-Trinity neejoma nazo, uyathini, udicida njani uba ubawela uba yintoni? At the time. Ntoni ebawelayo ngokuyanga?
Yeah.
Bawela uba yinto ethile and why?
Look, for me, I was in matric. I mean, I turned 17 in matric in August.
Okay.
So for the better part of my matric year, I'm 16 years old. So I'm really young.
Okay.
At that point, at 16, 17, I was okay. But I've always had this burning desire. Look, I think I want to go into the law space, right? But having said that, my father at some point, many years actually before he passed, he decided to quit his formal employment and went into entrepreneurship full-time.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I think, looking from the outside in, were like, crazy, you know, because we always think about the practical things, about medical aid, you know, you've got these children, my brothers are in school, you know, but he did it anyway, you know. Obviously now, Jimgaga, and I mean, a few years back, I understood the decision was calculated. You can't abandon everything, you know. So it may influence in that sense, the world is your oyster. Okay. Whatever it is that you decide to do, I support, you know. And if you get there and you figure out, but actually, it's not for me, teta. This is not what I want to do.
Yes.
You know, so coming out of high school, I had this desire and a love for the law and the justice. So my family was quite political, if I may say so. My dad's brother was very, very into the ANC. He was in exile and all that. So ndingumntana mnokhule xa kugqitywa uthandazwa kwamakhulu untata omkhulu nguNkosi Sikelel' Africa.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Nkosi Sikelel ingekabi yiyo le nto siyaziyo ngoku. Lo uNkosi Sikelel waqala ka-Enoch Sonto ongasimaziyo upheleleyo, you know. So ndingumntu okhule very conscious about politics, justice, you know, inequality, you know, equity, yonke laa nto. Because of my uncle's involvement kakhulu in the struggle and all that. I remember they left to go to exile, I think, well, I don't remember, but when I was older, that they left in 85 or, I don't know, 84 or something like that. And, you know, when he came back, obviously, it was a story of how they left the country, Lesotho and whatever else, and ended up in Zambia or, you know, but that's a story for them to tell. But so, see, family, then under those circumstances, you know. So the whole legal space was a very big interest group. But I also had this interest in commerce, you know, and business and entrepreneurship. So when I was then researching, what is it that I can do at varsity? And then I found out at UPE at the time, they had a degree called a BCom Law. So you got a little bit of both worlds, you know. And I thought to myself, then let me take that route. And then while I'm doing it, then I can decide, am I going to follow the commercial world or am I going to follow the legal world? Because that degree would give me an opportunity then to decide while I'm doing it, or how is it that I can use both these things to my advantage because they were both the interest group. So that's how I made the decision.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're talking now 98.
Yes, 98, 99, yes, around there.
Right. So wangena wenza i-BCom law.
Yes, ndangena nenza i-BCom law.
Tuja phaa kwamnandi.
Yeah, kwabe mnandi eVarsity. Look, ubaba ubumnandi ke, maybe a lot of people will be like, lo enyabile. Ubaba ubumnandi uthetha ngabo. I love music a lot. So when I got to Varsity, I got involved a lot in the musical world. I was in the university choir, so we used to travel a lot nayo. So it was a lot of distraction.
So niye nakweziphi countries ke ngoku. So now you are now 18, 19.
Yes.
Ubona ilizwe ke ngoku.
Yes.
Niyabhala early before nihambe or nibuye. So that iyakubetha ke ngoku ezinye ba iyafetha into ba ungayipasi module. Funeka ngokurhuqe ngokuthintini. Kasinike nje apha.
Exactly that. I think, and so we got to travel a bit. We went to Spain, we went to Norway, we went to Austria, we went to, where else did we go to? I mean, we went No, was it but like, I mean, you would make like your parents would make like a contribution of like 1,000, right? Or something ridiculous. Something that was
you?
Asibadali, and we would go for like 2 weeks at a time, and we would have the time of our lives. I mean, you meet people that you never think you'd meet. You made friends, you saw places. And at that time, I mean, you can imagine, this is like 2000, 2001. At that point, access that we have now to the overseas markets was not there still. I mean, all those many years into democracy, you were still, into your passport, it was still not a thing. I mean, the first trip I took out of the country was in matric. My school, we went on a hike to Namibia. We went to, we went to the, to a hike up in the south of Namibia. And that was the first time. I mean, my children laugh at me and they say, passport yam yokuqala mina ebhalwe ngepen ngesandla because they had emergency passport. And I even say to them, I got a passport at a time where I didn't even have to bring my parents. Nana's apply landed with passport. I could have left the country because at the time there was into human trafficking was not a thing yet, you know. So having a passport was, in my family, I was probably the only person who possessed a passport.
You, man.
You know? So yeah, and it would be a prideful thing for a parents to come to the airport and see us off, you know, and come back with an album full of memories. Exactly.
Film 24, 36.
Exactly. That's photos
So then it took longer. Ngeyiphi modulo oyikhumbulayo into yoba ngabana teaser. Can you tell us mhlawumbe i-one yoba you had to leave and then often ibhale early? Yeah, it's team arrangement with the university. Because I think there's khumbula into ze-choir into yoba kuyaziwa uba bazawuhamba. And so xa bezawuhamba kuthiwe okay into zenu nilungisente lapho.
I think for the most part, in terms of exams themselves, the choir was really good at trying not to have tours during exam time.
All right.
So what we used to maybe write early or later used to be like tests.
For a DP.
For a DP. So that they could arrange for us to write later. I remember on a trip to Namibia as well with the choir, I had to go a day later because I was writing a test. And I remember we flew Sibatatu. I remember Andile Kungwayo. Hi, Andile. And another girl that was an exchange student, Evele, America. So the three of us, we traveled later than everybody else because we had stayed behind to write a test. So it's one of the few instances where there was an arrangement made, you know, for us to travel a bit later than everybody else. So, but in terms of exams themselves, no, we used to sit for exams. But imagine you are 18 or 19. The June exams. We are le pen. Say playing in Spain.
You?
How do you concentrate? How do you even sit down and say, economics? It's one of the things I so like economics, inga textbook, intloko yam seBarcelona. Andazi uba injani iBarcelona. Kodwa intloko yam akho internet ke ngelaa xesha vovo. Akho uthi ndike ndijonge ku-Instagram uba kwenziwa. Qha you're imagining it in your mind. Inoba kunjani. You know? And then you land there and then you have an experience that is far beyond your imagination. How do you concentrate? Tell me how you concentrate.
For the longest time, kwakudla challenge students ezisevayo kwi-SRC.
Yes.
But they take long at university.
Yes.
Some abagqiba nogqiba, others it takes them ixesha elinantsika. So I can imagine kwi-choir abantu bathatha longer because of Londo, and that mhlawumbe abanye ba-end up bangenabazali bazawubekezela but khawubuye mtshana.
Yes.
Into enkulu leyo.
Yeah, and I think sometimes not because ability ayikho, but because nyani the distraction was big. Look, there were people that were able to make it work. Like my friend Unwabisa and I were both in the choir. But Unwabisa finished the degree on time.
Oh wow.
And she did her honors on time. You know? And then you have me and you're like, you have vibes. I don't have time for this.
Unwabisa kota.
Yes, Unwabisa kota.
By the way, zitshomi zam bobabini kakhulu.
So it was not ukuba kwi-choir is not a sure indication that you're not going to finish on time. But I think also the immaturity, you know, for me, I'm just telling you, yami experience worked against me. But I think had that not happened, again, the lessons that you take as with you, you know. And again, I was fortunate that I had parents that were able to make it work for me. Because let's be honest, resources dry up. And it's not because I'm phony, but ngokimali pelile, you know.
So mamela ke ngokwena, you've mentioned about your firstborn, siblings emva kwakho, I believe 2 brothers.
2 brothers, yes.
So kasiphe njengabo ibinjani ke ngokulena into use-university mhlawumbe parents zibudgetile ba sabetha wena sifake omnye. Ithini leyo akho nto ikhumbulayo into ba how was the setup?
So there's a 4-year gap between myself and my brothers emva kwaMuntsika. Yeah. And then there's a 5-year gap between him and the last born.
My parents.
I don't know if that was planned like that, but that's how it happened. So there were a bit of pressure in the sense that ulapa, like I see those steps in the true sense that unsika next years or so kuku pressure. You know? So I guess that was I was fortunate in that sense, you know. And also, as much as Ndobana, the whole music thing, I knew Ndobana it was not ever something that was going to give me an opportunity to provide for myself and for my future and for my family. So it's something that was always at the back of my mind. Hey, my friend, you need to get this going because at the end of the day, I will now future up. Lena, it's a hobby.
How do you decide, Lona? Because until you mentioned into into bangabana umuntu okwazi ucula mina ngikwazi ucula ne but I always say but if never ngikwazi ucula ngidala nirelease ayidala nirelease
no it doesn't quite work like that
dala nirelease mina nikuvovo abakho launch emva kwenye, you know. So it's amazing ba wena uyawuthanda umculo uyakwazi ucula but you knew ngoku yaba into yalapha lena I am not going to be a musician as our tintin. Why and how?
You have to be realistic with yourself.
Okay.
You know, as much as ndikwazi ucula and all that, I was in the company of musicians.
All right.
Ne? Funeki ability yakho bekwazi ba real ngayo.
Okay.
Kuyo yonke lento immaturity and all that, but it's one of the things I saw kwa early into bana esi space.
Okay.
Not for professionalism, not for me.
Okay.
You know, Ayami path is not in music. It's fun. It's something that I can do, but I don't think I've got a talent to take it professionally.
Wow.
And I've got friends who went on and they studied masters in music and they're doing big things. I mean,
I was about to ask about Pingo.
There's this choir that was on America's Got Talent, the latest one. I think Mzansi Choir. I think it's called Mzansi Choir, the latest one. So if you look at Mzansi Choir, musical director Mzansi Choir, Dr. Stumo Jacobs.
Okay.
I sang with him at the choir.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He's a big music guru at St. John's. You know St. John's, the big school in Joburg?
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he is. So
Okay.
these are
Okay.
big people who are doing big things in the big music world. I mean, there's also a guy called James Bassingthwaite, also in the choir with me at UPE. I mean, I think he's been nominated for Summers and stuff like that. No, you had Dupudzwai here a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think he's worked with him as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm talking, those are talented people. I can just sing.
Wow. Yo.
You
So
know?
ukwazi uyibona nje.
Yeah, ndakwazi uyibona.
Ayishema nabantu bangayaziyo iUPE NMU.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm that old.
Ndiyacela abantu bangashiyeki man. So you graduate.
Yes.
Uyaphi? Kwenzeka ntoni? Siyenzile i-BCom law still,
Yes.
ne? And then while uphayana uyabona uba hamba nokuqala commerce.
So there's a story to that, Vovo. It was
Okay.
not just I didn't just finish the degree in commerce. So as I said to you, it's the 21st of November, 2005. My dad is not well that year. My dad has had health issues prior. You know, my dad is in his 40s, late 40s. So nobody's thinking this guy is not going to make it to 50, you know?
Wow.
So he's had health challenges in 2005. Okay, we are there, we are supporting him and all that. I even remember I'm writing a course called in Negotiable Instruments.
Okay.
If you know Judge Gavanji, who used to be the dean at
Yes,
the
yes,
university,
number one.
Judge Gavanji is
Yeah.
the person that's giving me la course at that time.
Okay.
I'm writing this exam. It's the 21st of November. The 20th, I'm at university in Diafund. Get a call from my mom. Tanam, I'm like, yo, what's going on? No, Tata was really not well. Dimsa A. Don't you say Costin? Mercantile. Yes, say Mercantile. Because his physician is there. And we know what Mercantile. Lalis Mercantile. But they realized that especially Sakasiko, so he has to be moved to Green Acres Hospital. The 21st of November, I'm writing that exam. The Pali exam, writing in Jalo, he's in hospital. My dad doesn't make it to the 22nd. He passes away on the day I wrote my last exam at varsity. He passes away that day. So you can imagine, Indoba, Zotin. At this point, Volvo, I had applied for jobs for SG. At the time when I was at final year, was a graduate in training. I don't know why I say we were called GITs. So, in spite of the fact that I had a lot of fun at varsity, for some reason, 3 employers were convinced that I could be a good GIT. So at that point, I'm sitting with 3 offers as a GIT at VW, at Momentum, and at GM.
GM.
Yes. So I'm thinking to myself, I want to do LLB. Then decided, well, I want to do LLB. But my father passes away on the 21st of November. My mother is a young widow. And when my dad passed, my mother was 45 when my dad passed.
Yo.
I'm 44 August. Ndiyayicinga ngoku into yoba umama Mindlela wayemncinci ngayo usweleka katatam.
Yo.
Ngela xesha uNtsika is in matric. Yeah, he's in matric. So uNtsika ubhala matric ngela xesha. Ubuhle grade 7.
Yo.
So thinking yam ithi ke ngoku, I cannot go back to university. After taking so long to finish qala. Now uNtsika has to go to university. Ngonyaka olandelayo. Umama wami yiwidow encinci. Ubuhle is going into high school. And nazo be burden ngoku nam ndithi ndilindile uba mama undibhatalele i-LLB. Leyo option was taken away from me. It was not zange ibe into ndithi hayi ndizawutyhala ngesifuba ndizawuyenza. I had to make a decision. Out of the 3 people that have given me an offer for a job to use my BCom law, ndizawuyaphi. And to be honest, the only reason I chose GM because I didn't want to drive to Utenhage. Yes, that's the only reason I actually never went to VW. So I was thinking, yo, akukude. Yeah, pum. And momentum was in Pretoria, and I didn't feel right to leave my mom. My mom so local in November, go January, and say Pretoria. Then I didn't feel it was the right thing, because to her I felt it was going to feel like net losses is in Bini, right after the other. As much as I would have been alive, but I felt that I wanted to be home and to give her support. So the decision then to start working and not going on to do the LLB was made that way. Because of my father's death.
Yes.
This is 2005.
Yo, so you are 24.
Yeah, I'm 24 years old at that time.
Ubekwa elondo le hey yazi xa manje ndifuna ages ezine ndibuza abantu abahlala apha ngeage.
Yeah.
I want umuntu obukele understand into bangabana ukla age no kwakhe if young.
Yes.
Yayiv bangabana wethatha izinto ezinjani.
Yeah. And at this point my father is running quite a successful business. So as I mentioned before, Tata Moise is Dixon, right?
Sure.
But Tata was working, right, as well. At some point, Tata stopped working. So because no takes at the time for him was what we call now a side hustle. Into zawuncedisana naye, for ufunza abantwana and all that. Mna ndidla ngotsho ngoku xa ndisendleleni oonoteksi besenza into engenangqondo endleleni qoba yo anidiki ngathi khandifundiswe imali yeteksi. So ndiyi-product mna yomntana ofundiswe ngemali yeteksi by my parents. Utatam at some point saw a gap in the market into yobana apha eBhayi siyi-automotive hub. Kukho ii-companies apha eBhayi that operate on a 24/7 basis. Phaa kwezaa khampani kukho abantu abaphangelayo engazobakho teksi ezamgodusa ngo-10.
Sure.
Tatam went into eLibhayi wakhangela i-opportunities, wafumana ii-contracts of moving those people. Wow. So a lot of people ask me where my love for logistics comes from. But when I think about it, it's something in Kulenayo. So my father was in the business of moving people.
Yes.
Yeah, I was in the business of moving other things, when I left a university. So I always say logistics is the same. Chinja commodity.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah. So Tata Mushelo business. So I'm 24 years old.
Yeah.
My mother is working. Utata mi breadwinner. Mama usebenza kwa masipala, right? At the traffic department. And le business esinike opportunity into bana kubekho extra money for ba kukwazi ba sifunde. So ikwazi ufala business. So at 24 ne responsibility of making sure this business man.
Dilinde uza bangabana kwenzeka ntoni tin business iyafa kaqhubekeka.
Yeah. No, look, we side kubekeka ngebusiness katata for about 2 or 3 years. But I think in the end it became obvious to all of us that look, this was our father's dream.
Okay.
This was not my dream.
Okay.
So saying the decision to no, we are going to move on. But I always say that maybe had my dad passed only a few years later, maybe I would have made a different decision. But I think the pressure at 24 years old, because remember, these are professional relationships. I'm 24, coming out of varsity, Zang and Dati, good morning, sir, Napina. Yes, I've had part-time jobs, but that's not the same, I don't know what professionalism is at all. I don't know how to hold a meeting. I don't know how to negotiate contracts. And these are things that are important. And I don't have anyone on Dauti, this person is going to be my mentor. Akakumtu, who is going to be in my corner and mentor me to make sure my business is
Yeah.
And I know you and I had a conversation on Friday. And one of the things I said to you was, Sifuni legacy businesses.
Yeah.
Because I know when my father passed, his business died with him.
Oh, man.
So that's why I'm always so adamant when I speak to people that are already in this entrepreneurial space, that have got the ability into bashi businesses as outliver bona.
Abekho Pick n Pay engekho Raymond.
Engekho Raymond. Exactly. Abekho Pick n Pay engekho Raymond. And uRaymond zangumbone etilini. I always maintain.
Yo. Hey, ndizama ujonga ngokunto bangabana ke ngoku xa seni decide, is it because ayile people like iyanisinda ngoku mhlambi is it mhlambi xa umuntu engekho bayanitsotsa ngokodriver or kukho ezinye izinto ezifuna yena nje or ithini into?
Yeah, i-dynamic eyayifuna yena. And I think, as I said, my dad passed when he was 49 years old. And none of us ever thought he was going to go that young. Yes, he had health challenges that we were trying to manage. But we never ever got the indication that his life would be that short, you know. And again, I was in varsity, so zange bekho chance yoba akahlale nam, and then I get into the family business and I learn it while he's there, you know. So it's one of the disadvantages that I faced. And of course, with the whole taxi world being so and it's and there's because I don't want it to come across as it's so informal. Let me use that word. It's very informal, you know. It was very difficult as a 24-year-old to navigate that world. Because it's a world that's very different to what I just studied.
You are a female. You are 24.
Yes.
The taxi industry.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Because as much as it takes zazine, contracts and all that, but for you to be able to be in that space of carrying people, you have to belong to an association.
Yes.
You know, these are ne politics zayo, nendo zayo, and that I don't want to get into now. You know, and it's just there's a part of me that is actually glad that I didn't.
All right.
That I didn't get into that space because it would not have made the professional that I am now, in the path that I am now. You know, we'll get into what I did after that, but I think going that route was it was the correct route for him now.
Sure.
Now that I'm the benefit of hindsight.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm just so proud. At that time, ucingile family, ucingile mama, ucingile your siblings,
Yes.
Now, your first day, uyangena GM or you choose a distance. Kunjani, itin indo outfit, uye wayo shopisha for the outfit ba uzabanjani itin into.
So ekhaya sinxiba imaqhosha thina xa siswelekelwe siyacheba.
Okay.
So ndiyafika GM bendithanda ucheba ngoNovember ndineenwele ezincinci. I mean when people see that picture of mine, they're like, are you 12 here? You know, my father's death knocked me a lot. And I think you know, when there's a death in the family dynamics sometimes crop up and stuff like that. So it was not a on top of the fact that I lost my father, it was just not a great time to be as a family as well, you know, like as an extended family, you know. That becomes when I was vovondanga ngalento. Kale GM ke undingaka. That's why people think I was like 12 because ndingaka ndinenwele ezincinci and I'm like I'm 24. I'm like, okay, this is the start of my life now. This is what I've chosen for myself. So ndi GIT up and I'm placed in I think it was in supply. Procurement, yes. I was placed in procurement, in direct procurement.
Well,
we're procuring parts for cars, come on. But I quickly figure out that direct procurement is actually not for me.
Okay.
And again, the benefit of hindsight, ukuzimela advocatela is something that I've done because the environment could have been intimidating for Mtona 24 years. I mean, you are here on 24, environment where the average age is like 3 times yours. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you get it, right? And you know, go GM and stuff, you get there, you 25 years, wapangela, 30 years, wapangela, you know, and the people that are in power, the powers that be, are people that are old. They're still old now, you know.
Yeah.
And they've got their way of doing it, of doing things rather. And a few months in, I said to them, look, I don't like this. This is not for me. I found too engineering, and the science and all those things not my thing. And I just didn't like the vibe. So I said, look, it's not going to work. And at 24, I had nothing to lose. I was thinking, if these people don't send me somewhere where I'm going to like it, I'm just going to simply find another opportunity,
Yes,
you know?
Yes.
So at the end of my GIT program, which was at the end of 6 months, then I was placed in logistics. So people asking me sometimes, how did you get into logistics? I'm like, no, actually, logistics found me. I never went to look for it, you know? And then obviously, as things went in my career, it fit because that's what my father used to do, you know? So I ended up in logistics. And then I actually, in the end, only stayed at GM for only 18 months because the culture was just not for me. I was just too young for it. It was just too...
When you talk culture, do you want to simplify for bangabana? I will talk about
it was stiff. It was very like prim and proper and stiff and I don't know. I'll contrast it for you, but I can tell you where I went after I left GM.
Okay.
I joined the South African Breweries. Go 2007.
Yeah.
It's 2007 now. Yes. I think it was September.
Oh,
2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. No, yes. You'll probably remember.
Yes.
So, when I came out of prison.
Yes.
After iminyaka kwakungo 2007.
Yes. I remember,
and ndaphuma February.
Yeah.
Abantu boqala, you know, for untacha yayinguwe.
Yeah.
Nonwabisa.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. So when I share a story with abantu, they don't know bangobani.
Yes.
But I always say bangabana, when I came out.
Yeah.
Indanga zam.
Yeah.
Which is unabisa November, December.
Yeah, December.
December unabisa 79.
Yeah.
Then mna 80 January.
Yes.
Then bengu 81.
Yes.
So siku AJ1. So it's 3. So when I came out of prison, ditibana nechomi zam ke abasezindaweni.
Yeah.
So for anyone ongazange understand, imagine ke ngoku nanku umuntu oyindanga yam. And that in the Puma etrongweni, you are working at GM.
Yes.
You are working. Hey, Astra Lamot.
Yes, then the Astra at GM. Yes.
Now, umfana ona 27, uzolando. Nalando nglosis. Yo, nindi kupe nonwara. And I'm like, yo, divele trongweni minyakin.
Yeah.
Like, hindi bukele man ba. Wow, I missed out.
Yeah.
And nizi professionals, nizi graduates, ni somewhere bomini, like, and now I'm teaching amajita ngoku, ndithetha nge-ladies, ezichomi zam.
Yes.
So kumnandi apha into by conversation inje, kumnandi bangabana, these are my friends, like kumnandi, bayandi welcome.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it was our pleasure. Ubungenayo any chance, any choice, but make it.
Yo.
Would have made sure of it.
No, thank you so much. Like if bangabana itin. So for me, like I'm inspired.
Yeah.
And so we're talking 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And so much has changed, but sizahamba nayo.
Yeah.
Actually slow.
Yeah.
So awusekho apho futhi ngoku at GM. So few months later at SAP and then ndaphenda iqala naleyo bawuse SAP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kwenzeka non SAP.
So to say SAP, you know, when people ask me about my time at SAP, I usually say that is where this professional was upon the cover corner of.
All right.
If you want to use a law analogy, ulapho SAP in cover corner. If you for university professionalism, SAP is your place. Obviously now SAP, that was then, and then it's been a few years obviously since I left. I don't know what things are like now.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
I've got an uncle who wakhona naye apha. SAP usayincoma na today.
Yes. It made me who I am.
Yeah, Sayingoma today, and it's not just him, nenye friend.
Yes.
So people bathetha highly of SAB.
Yes.
In terms of ukwenza umntu.
Yes.
Yeah. Baninzi abantu abatshoyo.
Mna ndizawuhlala apha ndikuxelele Vovo into yobana SAB made me. SAB made me. The opportunities I got at SAB, I do not know by ngandizifumene had I stayed anywhere else or had I gone anywhere else. Ndiyafika SAB Vovo, I've got 18 months working experience. Ndiyafika phaya, ndiphangele. I think my first job, then the distribution supervisor.
Okay.
So the point of distribution supervision is we have to make sure the sales guys go out, they sell the beer. Our job is to make sure the beer is delivered. It's goals ezi strict. Mawuphume emsebenzini ngo-2 ibhibanda.
Oh, okay.
My truck yam mayingabi kanti isathula ngo-6.
Okay.
Umuntu ophume shift ngo-2 makafike ibhibanda. Uyayifake ngoku? Yeah. Ayiyo xa ufika ibhibanda ngo-3 on a Friday afternoon sucinga into yobana hayi ngabantu balapha. We made sure that low culture is ingrained in our customers. Wow. We used to educate a lot as well, So I work at SAB. Vova, I am in this job about for 11 months and I get a promotion. Or 10 months and I get a promotion.
Okay.
I get promoted and I become now a distribution, what do they call the distribution controller. So SAB, for those people who don't know at the time, they had owner drivers. So my job was to look after the health of the owner drivers. So SAB looked at the owner driver scheme as their business partners. There's no SAB without the owner drivers. There's no owner driver without SAB. So it was very important to the company into bana owner drivers be healthy, legally, be tax compliant, yonke lanto. So each job yam was to assist the owner drivers into bana guys, into yakho funeka ibe on point. Ayigcwale. Yes. So if kuthiwa SAB kuzokwenza i-owner driver audit, that was my baby. I needed to make sure into bana all the drivers have contracts with their people, they're paying statutory payments, they're tax compliant, and all those things, and their day-to-day issues as well, being in contact with their business advisors and their tax people. So that was my job. Yeah, so that's what I did. I think I did that for 2 years, 2 or 3 years. No, it was more 2 years. And then this one time I'm in my office, doing my thing. I'm enjoying myself. I mean, kumandi, the culture there, the staff is young. My boss is like 3 years older than me. So, yonke the dynamic, yonke the agile. Until namaqheko, yonke the agile. We make decisions, we move.
Oh wow.
Because I found the engineering thing so slow. So thetha namhlanje ngemoto ezofika 5 years from now. That was so boring for me. So FMCG was like a heartbeat of my life. I always say to people, I gave my youth to SAB and I'm proud of it. And I had fun. I'm like 26, 27 at this time. This one time I'm in my office, my boss comes. His name is Byron. Love Byron. Hi, Byron Smith.
Byron.
Byron comes to my office and said, Bongi, come man, let's take a walk. So we did walkabouts. It was something that was normal for us to do. Come see a warehouse just to see if everything's fine. We chat to the guys because we wanted to be a leadership team. So we take a walk. So hi, siyaku Dave. At this point, Dave Evans is what we call the district manager. Siyaku Dave. Siyaku Dave. But Dave is probably 4 years older than me. So I'm moyiki. I can't intimidate her. I can't talk with Dave. And futhi I'm doing well, so I can't indenza la stress. Hey, I'm saying like, no stress. And I'm ngathi casual kodwa for yaku Dave namhlanje. Okay, siyaku Dave. Sifike ku Dave. Hayi sincokola. Hayi bonke, I've heard good things about you and all that. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, no, we're very excited today. I'm like, excited? Okay, excited. no, me and Byron have been talking, Dondoni, we want to offer you a management trainee position, an operations management trainee position. At this point, we're like, because, you know, when people see you from the outside, because this is your life for me, you must do it.
Yeah.
You know, not doing my work is not an option,
Yes.
you know, because I'm that person. I have to do my job. And I do my job to the best of my ability. Because andifundi into uzawufeyila kuthiwe ngobongi. Very, very conscious ngaloo nto zovo. Into yobana ndibe professional ndifike endaweni and then ndiyimoshele for everybody else that's coming behind me.
You are kaloku.
So, zamoshwa ngobongi ezaa ndawo. Ngobongi bas. I didn't want that. So I got another promotion for. Then I became an ops management trainee. So yandiva xa ndisithi ndixoviwe phaa.
Yo.
Akumanga vovo ndisanjonge leyo.
Uhoye abantu bangaphi njengophathe?
Every time ndimane ndinyuka, there's more and more people that I look after. So
20s?
In my 20s, yes.
20s people.
In my 20s. So as an operations management trainee, essentially what the business is doing is they're taking you out from day to day managing. So you're doing projects and stuff like that. So you are now learning the business very intimately, with the point by at the end of this, you are going to take up your own department or your own depot or whatever. You know, I go to courses and then courses and Google courses on pole position. And then in each district, maybe one or two people are doing it. There's two of us doing it at this point, Ndim and one other lady. While I'm doing this operations management trainee, I'm doing courses on how to chair hearings and those things. You know, I didn't spend my own money learning those things. I didn't learn on the job, but for formal training. Over the years, yes. Details email. This is 2011. Okay. I'm doing my operations the tail end. It's a 2-year program. Email ba. Kukho program enjena eranwa ngo-National Empowerment Fund. Okay. So when I read about this thing, President Mbeki, I think at the time, meets with the president of France. Between them, as an economic development program, they decide they will send 100 young managers to France on a management development program. 6 weeks, was it 6 weeks or 8-week program around there? So ndifumane email ndoba awukho interested afuna apply. Apply out of everybody up Eastern Cape bayithumele kum lento. And lento it's for the whole country. And they want to take 30 people. Because they had already taken a cohort the year before. Okay. And 2 people, because remember at that time SAB owned ABI. Right. So 2 people from ABI had applied and they were successful. And they were part of the program. They had gone the previous year. And leno ndithunyelwa la kule veki vovo iyavala next week. Alright. Ifuna ndibhale essay. Yes,
motivation.
Ayo application form bhali igama lami ndithumela ifuna ndibhale essay lento to try and convince these people why it is that they should actually pick me. Bona nje lento ndiyenza because ivela from powers that be. Andale nto bandifaka kuyo bona nje yandisokolisa mna xakekile ndine project ngeli xesha vovo we are trying to get truckers zibane forklift at the back of the truck. Yes, so sine outlets apha vovo ezinkulu. But because zingenazi forklifts funeka kuthule ngesandla. So we are trying to get a project where we are identifying these outlets into bana xa siyodilivasha pha siye nezi truckers zinale. So drive truck, akwazi udrive le forklift so that truck turnaround times are quicker. Efficiency, right? So I'm like, I'm busy with my project here that I'm supposed to be delivering on. And so goes up a band. Ndibhalele essay. Sendidibene nomyeni nami ke ngeli xesha. Askachat.
Sekhona
brothers. And motivate. Hayi man yenze. Nale English ngaka bona nje. Hayi man khe ndicinga Mr Rex bezothini kanene English teacher e high school. Ndibhalele. ndiyibhalele i-essay Vovo. I promise you, yayivala, I don't remember the date, but on the day yovala kwayo, eyami i-essay yangena ngala mini with all the other things that they were looking for. Ayinthumele le nto ndiqobe whatever. Ndiyilibale Vovo. Oh, since I'm just wanting to tick a box because bandihleli apha uyenzile. So a few weeks later, I get a message, Ndobana, we'd like to invite you to an interview. Yup. Mna. If I just was interview. Hey, ndothuke ba. Hayi man, nothi mna. But no, so iyaqala ba no sizokuthumelela i-flight tickets ntoni sifuna uze ku-interview. Interview seKapa. There's a hotel they called 15 on Orange, I think it is called, in Cape Town. Hey, ndihambe Vovo ndiye eKapa. Ndihamba ndedwa ke. Zange ndaye eKapa ndedwa ndiqoma ndizayibona xa ndifika pha. It's 2011. Early 2011. Hayi ndiye eKapa ndiye ke kule interview. The interview is nice. Ndingumuntu talkative mos mna. And again, I don't get easily intimidated. I respect people for positions zabo, but you're not going to intimidate. Ungumuntu mos nawe angoyiki. Zonthina zonletha. You know? No, we do this interview. I think it went okay. It went well, but I know they're looking for 30 people in the whole country. I'm thinking to myself, what if Vovo, I could not believe my eyes when I got an email saying, congratulations, you've been selected. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
I was one of 34 people in 2011 in the country who was selected by the National Empowerment Fund to go on this program in France.
Hey.
In fact, in the Eastern Cape, there was only 2 of us. It was myself, and Phikelela, who at the time was working at the office of the Premier. She's doing big things now at Transnet, actually. Hi,
Hello.
You know, we were the only 2 people in the Eastern Cape that were selected to go on this thing. And Lendo, when I've over...
Na 30.
I'm 30.
Na 30.
I'm 30 at this time, yes. Le program Rovuyambe iti there's a university they called Advancia Negocia. So since the academic part of the program, you need to have a company you are going to join to go yokwenza internship. SAP at this time akana operation in France. Kuzo zonke indawo SAP has got an operation in akanayo in France. The so-called level because awukwazi uya kulo program ungena internship a certain ikwayile SAP inye kukho usisi apha at SAP ne ugama lakhe yayingubani kanene yayingubrand ifani yakhe yayingubani kanene igama lakhe she's in HR.
Okay.
Athi kum ifiance yambona nje nefriend yakhe France that works for a pharmaceutical company. Uzakhabuze pha ba can you not do noba awunawuyenza na internship pha ke Kate Band was her name.
Okay.
Kate Band yabona uba ngobantu base SAP bonke aba athi kum Kate Band my fiance has got someone or ichomi yakhe that she just recently met nanoba besenza kum MBA or something but uphangela ku pharmaceutical company pha uzakhabuze kuye ba can they not maybe accommodate you for like 4 weeks. Okay, I mean, udala ndithumele applications to companies in France akho ndibuyayo. For ndiyaxelela mna wabuyela wabhoti wathi we'll be happy to have her. No interview, no nothing.
Oh man.
Nothing. The 15th of September left for France in 2011. Did the MBA in France, had the time of my life. Made friends. Lifetime friends, connections, people that are doing big things out in the world now. There's a lady called Linda Mabena. Okay. She's big in the energy space. She was in that program with us. So these are people that are really doing big things, you know. So I did that in 2011. Le program unpaid. Yes, the NEF is going to pay for us to travel. It's going to give us spending money and all those things. But SAP said, uya development program, your salary will be paid. You don't have to worry.
Hayi.
I'm not at work. I didn't have to take leave.
Yo.
In fact, when I came back from France, then I was on manual leave for 2 weeks. So I don't think ukhona umuntu who can ever make me hate SAP.
Yo. I don't want to lie. Abantu engibaziyo abaphezulu.
Yes.
Bayancoma SAP.
No, ndiyayincoma mna.
Bayancoma.
Hayi ndiyayincoma mna pha kum.
Yo.
Because I cannot talk for anybody else's experience, but I can talk about my own experience. Ndibuye Vovo France, then program yam le yoba ops management trainee ke Phikelela, I must apply ke ngoku to get a job. Apply like within the company. Then I get a job as a distribution manager at the depot in East London. So I have to move from PE.
Okay.
Yeah. Ibenzima ke le move Vovo in love kaloku.
Okay. Nokusibhutiza ngoku.
Ndishiyibhude bhayi. Ndihambe ndiyemonti ke shem. Ngelishwa ke i-relationship yam ne-SAP iphele ngoba there's some issues and the company has to reduce, then ndibe victim ye-retrenchment.
Okay.
At this time, nale retrenchment ingandihetisha icaca uba ngoba I'm very confident in myself into yobana andizosokola apha. I just recently got married. I've got a baby on the way. Okay, it's fine. Izawusesibe by maternity leave enye nenye ndizayibona emva koko. Yeah. And then ndibe at home, the baby comes, yonke loo nto, then umntana bemdala ke mos yena funeke uzawukhula.
Yeah.
Then qonda uba kaloku mna azange I'm not designed to be a housewife too. Anzokwazi. Anzokwazi. And then I apply for jobs and stuff like that. And then I continue my life in the logistics world. I join Alpha Farm Pharmaceutical Distributors. I worked there for a few years. And the head of logistics, yabo. And then 2000 and get SAP 2012. So this is 2013 now.
Okay.
Probably a short stint at the British American Tobacco, but they didn't have a job for me because I was not mobile. So I had, because they wanted me to go to Cape Town. I was like, no, I just got married. I can't do that. So I joined Alpha Farm, headed up logistics for them. I worked there until 2015, and then I worked in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Now, if you want to ask me the most challenging job I've ever had, that was the one.
Yo, when's it done?
So, apha Vovo, so I'm a logistics girl. Come to nondibuza, come to nondixelela, ndiyayazi, I know my story. Ndiyafika apha kusemayezini ke ngoku apha. Science ke ngoku. Very challenging ukwenza amayeza. Yes. No. Any type of medicine because of the regulation yamayeza.
All right.
Yes. There's no room for a mistake emayezeni.
Yo.
Akukho room for a mistake. So it's always the balance between the commercial side of the company and the quality yamayeza.
Yo.
Balance. So you can imagine at this point, I'm the face of the company. Remember, mayeza ethu are not just destined for South Africa. Mayeza ethu are going all over the world. I'm sending a lot to the East and a lot to Europe. Yabo? So as the supply chain head, ndim point of contact. So I'm the commercial person. Yabo? Voviyafika ufuna mayeza anga ngemini ethile. Kuku challenge ngapha mayeza waphumi for whatever reason. Bongi is the person that needs to answer those questions. Bongi apha mayeza ethu.
Abayixisa yavakala yaba waye engekho.
Wayevakala.
Funeke ngoku.
Funeke mna ndiwacacisile into yoba amayeza aphi azofika nini amayeza. It's a very, very challenging. It was a very challenging eyona role that I've ever had. That was their most challenging role. Yobona uvuke kusasa ukuntombe bawo nyanyan, like, am I the right person for this? You know? As I'm here. Now I always say to myself about every step or every job I've ever had is a job that has prepared me for the next step.
All right.
I've always had that. And when I was there, I said to myself, funeka ulapha because kunto funeka uyifundile uphinde uphume nayo for the next challenge ozayifumana. You know? It was the most challenging, it was the most exciting, it was the most I'm living on the edge time. You know? And you can remember ke ngoku uvovo umtshato umtsha. Umntana omncinci ubongi une-job. And they're traveling to Europe and calls Asia because amaxesha wafani the conference calls. This was before Zoom, no Teams ke. You can imagine. You know? So Yandi, that role took me to the next level. You know? I sat on tables with people that I never thought I could ngahlala nabo. Dithethe about izinto endingaqondi ba mna ungacinga mndimi authority kuloo. You know, that was a big learning curve for me, very big learning curve because awusoze uthi uzawuba yi-commercial head yendawo kanti uthengisa i-product ongayazi noyazi. Kwanyanzeleka ngoku iscience ndiyithande khumele le nto ndithe ndiyifuna phaa i-GM engineering ne-science ndazifundisa into yobana this is what you've chosen and you'll be the best at it. This is what you've chosen and wena awuzubaleka. You are not going to run away. You are not going to break. You are not going to go to some institution. Also admitwa. You are going to put your big pearl panties on and you are going to take this role on. And I did that. And I did that until iminiam yokugqibela. You know? So that was the most challenging role I've ever had. That was the most exciting. That was the most professionally growing role. Preparing me for the next step, you know? Yeah. And then I took a little bit of a sabbatical after that, just to collect myself. And my child was in grade R, I think at this time, as I was grade 1, and I just felt that time was just running. I felt like I didn't have a grip of time at home, you know? And I said to my husband, Luis, I said, look, I just need to have one title in my life.
Okay.
I've been doing this since I was 24. I'm 35 now, or 36, or 37. I don't know how old I was then. I just need one title. Okay. I don't want another title. I took 6 months off.
Oh, wow.
It was the most glorious time. I took swimming lessons with my boy. If udlala tennis, I was there. If ufuneke up, I was there. I was dropping off at school. It was the best time. And I thought, if I can be a great mother and a great wife for ababantu who will be there when I'm 70, you know, I want to do that. In life, I can take 6 months off. Let me do it.
Mamel, ndiyacela into yoba sithethe kancinci ngobhudiza. Ndifuna uyibeka kakuhle into yoba ngabana sikwixesha okanye sikwi-country where kunzima.
Yes.
Baninzi abantu abanobawela okanye bangavuya to afford ukunika inkosikazi loo nto.
Yes.
And say into yoba hayi inkosikazi yenza loo nto le ndikhona.
Yes.
Ndiza kwenza ibe possible. It takes a present and a hard-working husband.
Yes.
For uba loo nto yenzeke.
Yes.
Ayikho lula. Baninzi amakhosikazi anobawela, but ootata, not because of bakhohlakele, but kunzima.
Yes.
Ubhudiza khasinike ngaye nje.
So, I'm Mrs Simon. A lot of people laugh at me when I tell them we actually met at SAP.
Oh, hamba SAP. SAP bininzi into ngayo. Besiphuma ibhiya all along. Ngapha kwebhiya.
University and other things. We met at SAP. I think he joined in 2010, I think it was. No, 2009. Yeah. So that's where we met. And then we married in 2012. Jonga, when people say when you get married, daughters would marry their father or someone similar to their dad, that's what happened to me. My husband is a provider.
Okay.
And undixelela qho Bongi, provider is my job.
Okay.
When you work because you want to.
All right.
Yes, you working helps the family to uplift a standard of living. That we cannot ignore.
Okay.
You know. But primary job yam, which I take very seriously, is to provide for you and our kids.
Oh wow. Wow. Po.
You know. So if you are coming to me, Oti, we may need to make some lifestyle adjustments because you need a break, because you want to be a mother to Sisipo and wife to me, you know, and we get deep into why you want to do that, then I support that.
Yo, hayi sambulela. Hayi Groti, sambulela kakhulu.
You know, when you are choosing a partner, ne, you want someone who's a value system efanayo neyakho.
Okay.
You know, okay. I mean, he's brought up by parents like I was brought up with my parents. Mm-hmm. I mean, Mama and Tata we lost them a few years apart in the last few years. Tata in 2019, Tata, my father-in-law now, my mom-in-law in 2022, you know.
Oh, man.
Sikhuliswa ngabazali who are very similar in the way what family is for them.
All right.
You know,
all right.
And it's something that we are recreating for ourselves. Okay. I'm not saying parents, we are not perfect parents. You know, you try and do corrections because I didn't like this at home. So that's what we are doing now for our own family. Yes. But largely, I think what attracted me to him is that Lomdune value system is fananism.
Okay.
Lomdi evaluation, like the same way that I value me. Abantwana bakhe uyabathanda way beyond. You know, umama umthanda way beyond. So intoni ke ngoku enye umuntu azayifuna.
Bangabana ningabantu abathanda ukuthakatha nithanda nobabini uthakatha.
Yes.
Yeah, like anizube niphikisana.
Asiphikisana.
Kuva kakuhle.
Yeah.
Oh man, sayibulela lonto bengenakwazi udlula ngespeed kulondo.
Yeah.
Because sine challenges.
Yes.
Not just up siyabona ngoku ilizwe lonke.
Yes.
But social media is exposed for us to see what people are going through.
Yes.
Isn't. So sayibulela lo party le kakhulu. Yes.
So uvovo ngeli xesha ke ngoku ndilapha ndisapha freezing yaSikhabe kule ndawo ndithi pharmaceutical manufacturing. In the midst of all that, before I took my sabbatical, you know, and as I'm going through the challenges of uphangela, ndihlale phansi ndizibuze into yobana, okay, Bongi, you are now 35 or 36.
Okay.
Uyazibona this is what you are going to do. Are your dreams being fulfilled? Mm-hmm. If ubuyela back to that 18-year-old or 17-year-old that was making a decision around what you want to do, are you ticking those boxes? Ukubona lento ba go January sonke sine New Year's resolutions bane vision boards, you know, half of the year ufuna ukuphinda ubuyele kula vision board ukhangela bandiphi kanene kweza goals andizibekile. So I had that session with myself into bana, okay, you had a vision for your life. Are you living that dream? Are you living that vision for your life now? And I had to sit and say, okay, I started working because this situation dictated that I must work to help my mother, for my brother, university, for Luseza, high school and all that. And the career took off. That part I can't deny.
Yes.
The career really took off. The commercial career took off. The logistics career took off. And I can't do it. I know I'm good at what I do.
Oh, wow.
I could do it with my eyes closed, you know. But you are now 60. I'm 36. So okay, okay, 60. I'm looking back. Will I be happy?
Yes.
Would I have done yonke into endicinga bendifuna uyenza? Then I said to myself, Bongi, when you did the BCom law, you always thought that you uzawuyenza le LLB. You know, to satisfy that part of you. ithanda justice and fairness and you know, and then you are going to try and see how you can make both things work, you know. But zangu yenza loo nto. Life took off, yes, for in a good way, and I'm not and Kalazi, you know. Vovo, by the time I was 13, I had a house. Now I'm thinking a bond, by the time I already had one, you know. So for an average 35-year-old, my life was above average.
Okay.
Right? I'm not gonna sit here and try and pretend or you know, things were bad. Daphuma varsity, I got 3 offers, I got jobs, and then does apply, and then I was able to grow in emsebenzini. And then the answer I got to after I asked myself that question was, when you are 60 or 65 and you are retiring from formal employment, I was happy if you never tick that box.
Yeah.
And then dear Chloe, so I'm like, actually, I'm thinking of doing that LLB, love. It's like, oh, really? Okay. You really want to do it? I'm like, yes. Like, oh, okay, do it.
I'm happy. Hey. Yeah.
And then he's like, so also 18 gengo, because obviously now in a career, I've made it this far, you know, and the exec every years already at this time. Oh, then was 18, you know, like, and then if then we can figure out all that.
Wow.
You know? And then he's like, oh, okay.
Yo.
So, Vovo, I go through the whole UNISA experience to try.
So you're choosing UNISA?
I'm choosing UNISA.
All right. Is it because it's the only one in the country? Is it correspond and part-time?
Yes.
Is not offering that?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, if I could have done it at NMU, I would have done it in NMU.
All right.
I may contact Lenamna. But that unfortunately, if I wanted to do that, it would have meant that I must stop working for 4 years, and I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
If I wanted to do that, my husband would have said to me, "Okay,
yes,
you know."
I didn't want to.
But I didn't want to do that, you know. So I decided to do the correspondence thing. And that's LLB at 10 years too. I've already done that.
So decided how to do LLB.
Did decide to go in the LLB in 2018.
What?
Yeah. But man, did I phone money LLB for? No, but in the end I decided ndobana and it's just going to assist me, because my job obviously also included contract work and all that stuff. So it was going to assist in that sense, you know, even though Benson Nayoki become law. But I wanted it. That's what I wanted.
So, Jemabuso no become law. Are they giving you credit?
No.
Why?
So I find out the hard way in Dobana. No, if it has been more than 3 years since you last got these courses, those Basileo, and you cannot prove Ndobana how you've kept abreast with the legal field, or cause of money credits.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Buzela bahlala. Enabo bahlala ikwandim lo mhlaba. Ikwandim lo mhlaba. Ngoku andibuzeli bantu bakude. Khona umphulaphula buze bayabuza abantu, hayi ngibuzela mna.
So you can imagine ke uvovo Ndobana afuna ngiqale ku introduction to law.
All right.
Then at 36 or 37 at this point, iti introduction to law. Yo, deciding ke ngokulento ka introduction to law, no historical foundations of law, no ban yonke lando ndandenze kudala.
Yes.
Yo, it gone by. I couldn't decide quick, but do I want this thing or do I not want this thing? Because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my family's resources, because this money could be invested for my child to go to university one day. And there's no time now. And to my mom, interestingly, when you are using your own money, I asked, but there's no time. Yes, but there's lots of time. Okay. I decide I'm committing.
All right.
Committed. Dienzeke. Vovo. Beku challenge ke uyophangela nofunda.
Injani ndifuna start true up.
Yeah.
Because remember, we've got ngokumphulaphula or umuntu obukeleyo right now una 37.
Yes.
And lo muntu decide wafunda wenza into ethile.
Yes.
Or ubomi benza loo nto bayenzayo kuye. Wade accept into yoba yena as a 37-year-old and ubukela Instagram, ubukela Facebook abantu ubomi babo bo-right.
Yeah.
So accept uba buphelela apho ubomi bakhe.
Yes.
Asophinda thini.
Yeah.
Ngoku ubona wena uthi wena uyi-exec. Uthi wena unomyeni, uthi wena unomntana, uthi ninendlu, uthi kumnandi. Wena ufuna udecide uba uphinde uzithotsharisha nge-assignments nokufunda. Like uzayifumana phela xesha elo.
Yeah.
Uthini? Khasithathe apha.
So that's why I said, Nobana, when I decided to apply, I had to be honest with myself, Nobana, Bongi, commitment.
All right.
Ne? Ndine older daughters ke vovo mna.
Okay.
Phakwam.
All right.
Ndine bonus daughters. Basevasithi ngeli xesha.
Hayibo.
Ewe kaloku. Ndithi ke ngoku andisoze ngikwazi kaloku vele abantwana bazandigezela abantwana. Olunathi apha bazawuthi yo wena uzenza clever kangaka awusokwazi kaloku ukufeyila wena. Ndiyazi into yobana yi-pressure lenza sifaka kuyo. Are you ready for this pressure? Ndisixeba ndi-ready. Asoze kaloku mna sithanda abantwana. Asoze abantwana ngoJuni xa
Ngokuza njani?
ngoJuni xa kukhutshwa i-results ngumama ofeyilileyo. Ndisixelele vovo into yobana ndiyakhomitha apha. Ndiyazifaka ndonke ndiphelele.
Yo.
37 years old ndazifaka ndaphelele. Ndazixelela into yoba ndiyayifuna le LB. If intando kaThixo ithi it's not going to be for me, izawufika loo answer mna ngakhange ndizamile. Eyami effort yona izawubonakala.
Yes.
Vovo kunzima ufunda umdala.
Yeah.
Unefamily. Kaloku vovo andiyekanga uba ngumama wabantwana bam. Andiyekanga uba yinkosikazi kaLoyiso. Andiyekanga uba yintombi kamamam. Andiyekanga uba ngumzukulwana kamakhulu wam. Andiyekanga uba yinkosikazi emzinam. Yonke le ndifuna mna.
Usaphangela.
Ndiyaphangela ndi-exec ngeli xesha.
Uyanida uba mawuphendule.
Nantsoke. Eza calls zase-Asia zango-3 asaziphelanga. Hayi kaloku
kaloku jonga zonke ndigqiba zibeka ne ngezi umntu obukeleyo othi yena akazukwazi.
Awuzawukwazi.
Kaloku uthi yena yabona izigqibo zibala ngoko. And ungafika yena even less kwezo zibala. Mhlawumbe zakho zininzi. Ezakhe ungafika ziyi-2 abambelele kuzo into yoba ngabana anolunga.
Awuzawulunga.
Hayi ke uvile umamela.
I think Vovo, it's important for into yobana umntu that's why I said ngelaa xesha ndisenza i-decision yoba ndizayiva sithi ndazixelela into yobana andiyiqala into endizayiyeka esithubeni mna.
Okay.
Andizoyiqala into endizayiyeka esithubeni. If I'm not going to finish this, let me save everybody the effort.
Okay.
And myself first, my family, and resources. Plus esa space samsalibele ukuhlalela uyunisa kuhlambisa somnye umntana ofuna ufunda. Yabo? So ndazixelela into yoba ndizawuyenza, ndizawutyhela ngesifuba futhi. And it's going to require a lot of sacrifice. A lot of tears. Vovo, there were times first year was a breeze. Obviously, no introduction to Ndoni. And so with somebody on a BCom law, kaloku. Umandi mos. Suka mos ndazikhumbula izinto. Fika pha ku 3rd year. Fika pha law of delict. Jonga, mhlawumbi ngoku October ilanga lithe lishayina kamandi. Andithi ndiyaphangela. Ndinemali in the bank. My car is in the garage. I can be in Mauritius. Mna funeke ndibe ku-dining room table yam funda. For a degree that I don't need. Ayifani le nto kuthiwa Vovo emsebenzini mhlawumbi yokwenza i-MBA kuthiwe ugqiba kwakho le MBA kukwi-incentive. Kukho into ezawuza. Mna ndiyokwenza i-LLB andiyazi akho ndizawuza. Kha ndiyayifuna because it's been my dream since I was 18 years old. Akho nix ezawuza. Andiyazi, in fact, andiyazi into yobana okay, but the promise between my husband and I was, well, if you finish the LLB, we can make some decisions.
All right.
Yabo? Then you can decide what it is that you want to do with it. You know? But uyayifuna, ndiyakusupporta, it's fine, yenze.
Mamela ke ngoku. Masiphinde kukho into enandlanga ongayithandi kudala ke. Umuntu kuthiwe xa umuntu achaza uba into zakhe zenzekile athi, you must pray. Phelele nje apha, hayibo, dithini?
No, you must do.
Yabo, so ikhona into practical ngoku endifuna sithi kuba utshatile udecide into yoba i-Tuesdays anizophatha ncwadi zawoyo umyenam. Ikhona into yoba ngabana i-Sundays kiwa enkonzweni nefamily ndihamba nomntanam. I-Thursdays ndizayobukela isport somntanam. Khasinike nje into ezi-practical changes ekwafuneka uzenze waqonda uba guys nantsi timetable.
Yeah.
Akho nto yoba ingathi sefilimini apha.
Yes.
Uba undiphosile Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bhutiza khawume kancinci.
Yeah.
Awuzukwazi tu. Ikhona into enjalo kwafuneka uyenze for exesha ubufunda.
So wenza utsho kufuneka ibe khona into enjalo ngoba kufuneka ube ne-life structured. I-life yami had to be very structured.
Okay.
Awukwazi ukwenza nje.
All right. So it's important ke apha.
Yeah.
Asithethi ngento uzawuthandaza apha. Sifuna umuntu enjalo. Okay. And then abantu around wena bayazi le plan yakho.
Yes.
I-staff sakho siyazi.
Yes.
I-family yakho iyazi.
Yes.
Your friends.
Yes.
Nabantu ngabikho secret. Kwenzela uba xa kuplanwa whatever planwayo kwaziyo uba zii-exams edate ethile.
Exactly.
Can ii-meetings zam, can into zam zihamba ngendlela ethile.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. So they're all obviously there are things vovo ngelishwa ezenzekayo that cannot be worked around my schedule.
Okay.
And then the question I always had to ask myself is ibaluleke kangakanani le nto kum nakwabantu bam that it needs me to be there. Zikhona izinto where between myself and my husband we decided into bana as much as it's important but uba i-presence yakho ayizokwenza yonke le nto ifole apart.
Okay, thank you. So abakulindanga emzini ezimakoti bangabana hey uphi yena
yeke
you akaphakame.
Yes.
You are ke la makoti nakazi ke nakhe apha lo makoti.
Yes.
Okay.
Yabona. And I think also because ngela xesha bengafundi I was always present zange ibe yinto ngoku ethethisayo into ba besimazi.
Yes.
Sesebenza nezancwadi as an excuse.
All right.
Because I was always there.
Good.
And also both from my husband's side of the family and from my own side of the family. And for our own things. Like let's say if you want to go on a family holiday, zikhona periods where you can't. We can't go on that short left in a long weekend ka August because assignments ziyangena ngela xesha.
Okay.
Okanye sithi we are going away for heritage weekend. Izabhalwe exams ngo-October. So ukufunda vovo une umdala takes a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of planning and it takes a lot of tears because andizohlala lapha ndiyi-romanticize.
Thank you.
There are times where I sat on that dining room table and I thought to myself, with tears in my eyes, Tobana, I can't do this. I can't, this is too much for me. I can't do this. Ndifuna uvala ezincwadi ngoku ndiyolala. Because between 7 and maybe 6, I'm at work. Ndiyabuya endlini, I'm making dinner. Ixesha lam, and then my child is in bed at 8 o'clock. The night owl ke mna ke ngoba andingomntu andikwazi nofunda emini. I'm really a night owl. I'm not a morning person at all. The night owl. So for me to be able to achieve anything, yenzeke ebusuku. So ngu-12, ngu-1, ngu-2 kusasa, my family is sleeping, now I'm on my dining room table and ndiyafunda.
Yeah. How many years?
So it takes me 5 years.
So does that mean that each semester you were taking on average how many modules?
Each semester was on average taking 4 modules.
All right.
Yes.
Bona be allow 5.
Bona be allow 5.
So when betara 4.
Betara 4.
So instead of making it 4 years, you made it 5 years.
I made it. Look, it was supposed to be slightly shorter than that, but there was an administrative glitch one of the semesters where I did a register, but they didn't do the back office work. Long story where it was a whole admin thing. Which I said to myself, let me over and had it break. So, 5 years there was like a semester that I didn't study because my registration was just never actioned. But other than that, yes, it was like that. Yeah.
So if bebenofumana i-edi ngoku kwa UNISA uyabanika for people to use them?
For professionals that want to study further and awunayo enye choice, yes. If you can get over the hurdle of some of the administrative issues that they have. And sometimes it means getting up and going to campus, your closest campus, and speak to someone. Because UNISA is very much online, you know.
Okay.
And if you're going to think phone someone, you're wasting your time. Nobody was ever gonna pick up that phone. So
UNISA fix that. UNISA fix that.
Vovo, the semester it was zange ndiphakame and go to the offices that are local. Ukuya kwam ndaya sekulate sekufakwa assignments esibini. You know, and then I was told, had you come earlier before, you know, registration evaluate, at least maybe a day or two after, we could have made a plan. But so many weeks later, so it was a lesson as well. So relax.
Jonga. Hey, yafika umnyaka 5. You get your results. Ithini feeling? Tell us true. Uyavuka kusasa uya emsebenzini uyathini kwenzeka ntoni?
So Vovo, it's the at this time, I'm already working for. Remember, I talked about Byron Smith.
Okay.
I will link up with Byron Smith again at Vector Logistics. I'm heading up logistics for Vector Logistics for Eastern Cape at this time. Prior Vector Logistics, the LLB student already. And by support, and whoever I work for, Akati, Lendo Ifunda is not related to our business. So, Asusfaka, Zbonel. Everywhere I go, I get support and about, it's fine. You can get a leave for study leave for your ballet exams. You can get study leave day before your exam and all that stuff, you know. Because it looks like we are off fully path to make this as painless as possible, because it's already so painful like dining room table.
Kaloku Jong, enye into mhlawumbi ongazuyazi. Okoko ndakwazi ungumntu onobubele. And ungumntu okulula uba zange ndikhe ndisebenze nawe but ndizathe uqala loba kulula utshomana nawe. Kumnandi uncokola nawe. No bangabana khomntu ustopayo ungaya ku-10 hours. So wena kumnandi. So I can imagine i-colleagues zakho nabantu you report to, I'm sure they're feeling the same way.
Yes. Well, I hope so.
No, so
I hope so. So I'm at Vector Logistics ngoku njebe ngoku ndikle final semester LLB.
Okay.
So I'm heading up the logistics for the Eastern Cape. I've got very good colleagues. Exec Empire, very supportive person. I mean, Yuri Skuman. And so I got support, Shemvovo.
Sure.
I don't want to lie. So I write my final exams in 2022 in May. So I'm writing these exams in this band. Vovo, and fully no ends ngati yonke le LLB bekumani, it was smooth sailing. Third year failure, Vovo. First failure ku LLB.
Kwenzeka ntoni?
Bali civil procedure, Vovo.
Yo.
Yandriblisha. Khala. Ndimdala ke that time for ukhala.
Baphi abantwana?
Bakhona. Ofuthi usisipho. Mama, are you going to take me to Uncle Vovo's? I'm going to tell him you failed. So, Vovo kaloku failure mna ngigqibela ukubecome lo ayonto yam ngoku ndingumuntu omkhulu ngoku serious ndi. Hey, I don't know what went wrong. So ke ngoku nje bendisenza le final semester ke ndirhuqa le civil procedure. Indenzela stress ke.
Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, if ever I want to practice law, I want to practice civil law.
And go with record yakho yiyo
yiyo le ndiyifailile. Phofu ke criminal procedure le ngenaxesha layo yona ndiyipasile emagqabini ne-distinction. Difference Vovo.
No.
So ndinale extra subject ke ngoku. In West Game, fourth year LLB, sinale, we've got a research assignment that we need to write. I don't know what they call it. I forgot what they call it. So we have to write this whole thing. Dinale pressure, I have to write this whole thing. Dinale civil procedure, and then obviously dinazo any fourth year subjects that I need to write. I've got a whole business that I'm running. You must remember, I'm looking after from Kokstad to all the way to the Southern Cape. The area that I'm looking after, in vector logistics. So I've got an operation in George, an operation in Mont, an operation in Pai, and an operation in Mthatha. And I'm servicing.
Sometimes we are.
No. I have to be there physically. I'm traveling. Job yam ayithi ndihlele ofisini yam ndijonge i-laptop. Ndinentsuku ivekiwe funeka ndibe seGeorge. Kaloku Vovo, you cannot ube ne-business that you are heading up. Abantu bakho abazange bakubona. Bava nje kukho uBongi. Hayi i-head yethu nguBongi. You know, bava nje because unfortunately xa i-direct reports zam azifuna u-enforcer whatever it is vision that I have. Zathi hakuthiwa kutsho uBongi. So ndisetyenziswa as umuntu ozawuba ndinguspoti mna walapha kwiprovinsi uba xa ndifuna banenza into ndizathi kutsho uBongi. So ndifuna abantu bamazi lo Bongi.
Yes.
Yabo? Ba ndim lo Bongi. Andilumi nix, andingo brownie na sporty, and you know I'm this person. And you are also colleagues apha co-boss.
Sure.
Nawe xa uqomba ikhona into oqomba ngifuna uphakamisa ifowuni thetheni noBongi phakamise uthethe namandi. I don't want to be that person no unreachable opha ukude, you know. So I'm traveling nale civil procedure. Ndenze le stress le civil procedure. But ndixela into bana wethu amagqwetha onke bonke abantu bane-LLB nabangabagqwetha babeyenza le civil bayipasa. Nam ndizoyipasa. Sayibona. Ayipasa. Bhale Vovo ke. Ndibhale kakuhle ndingafilishi into yobana kukho anything but into endenzela istress ile research report.
Okay.
Yabo. But in comments I'll choose a topic that is close to my heart, which is labor. Well, it was close to my heart. I've since found other things. So I don't want to choose a topic as I've been sokolisa apha. Yabo ndifuna into endiyaziyo uba I'm very familiar with, coming from like being in corporate and practicing individual labor and all that. So I choose a topic like that. I'm confident, God, but you never know most of the research project because I got right or wrong. I remember the day the results came out in 2022. It was a Saturday morning. And Unisa Moses out here. Results from there. I got 81 to results puma nge 3 July. From the 3rd. So manu ufuna kumanu siya online manu refresh okhangela ba ezami courses eziphumele na manu bengilo qumbu. Yabo mhlawumbe wenza dansenza 5 subjects. Phume 1 ngoba hayi bendizazi ngizawupasa. Kwathi kophumela civil procedure kuma thank God.
Ipase kangakanani?
I got a distinction this time. The second time I got a distinction.
That's good.
And then Sissy was like, Mama, obviously you are doing it for the second time.
No more.
No more Sissy. And then I was very worried about the research report, obviously, because you know I would write sometimes and people like balakakhle, and I was like I don't know. You know when you read other people's things or when you listen to other people's speeches. And then you think about how Vovo, you're such a good public speaker.
Yes.
To the point where you know. Yes. The last exam to be published came out the Saturday morning. I could not believe it.
Oh, wow.
I sat there and I was like, no man, dim nyani.
Yeah.
Dim lona. And then immediately after that, Vovo, the feeling of okay, unayo ngoku.
Wow.
Uzawuthini ke ngoku?
Nestress esimnandi.
Uzawuthini ke ngoku? My friends came, Onwabisa came, we popped a bottle. Kwamandi that morning, you know, when the results came. You know, and then graduation came. And if I remember graduation, the first one that I did, remember I said my dad died on the 21st of November 2005. Then graduation was in April 2006. That has passed. My mom is a widow. My mom's if you see graduation photos, I'm 2006. My mom was and I thought to myself, as much as the whole graduation thing is not they could have sent the certificate in the mail, but I wanted to go for my mother so that she can experience graduation. Yes, she's experienced is a brother after me, but I mean, experience a situation different than what she was. And my mom and my husband were the two people that were at my graduation because I could bring two guests. And when I was walking down that stage and I was looking at her with the pride in her eyes, I thought, I've done my part.
Man.
Because my mother was so happy. And because of moments zofuna ukuyeka. My dad passed away with the thing LLB because that's what I want to do. So I didn't do it. So my mom was sitting there representing umyenakhe naye babona umntanabo, ticking a box of a dream that she had, and she's always been there holding my hand, along with umyenwam. So that was a moment, and then when she asked me, Ndobana, so are you going to do something to celebrate? There was no way I was going to say no.
Oh man,
I had to. As much as it was not going to take that whole thing, it was most about mama bethu was one abantu bentente nomuntu ongapha kwetafile negown. I was like, no, we're not going to do that, but we will definitely celebrate. So as part of the program, I let her have her time, because she had her friends there, at my house where she had her friends and she had her little speech and her prayers and stuff like that. So, because I believe abazali bethu ufuna sibanikeza izinto. I mean, bakwi last days zabo. So I want to make her happy. So I gave her that, and then I had a hell of a party with my friends.
Jonga, congratulations. Ndiyavuya, and I want to believe ukhona inspired. Nam, I'm one of our bantu. Nam, they said between Klondo Yobang, I want to go back and finish LLB. But no, it's not finishing.
Kuqala, yes.
Kuqala, except Londo. So fne decide to nam as well. Okay, business, ten, yeah, yonke lonto and kwenza imali na.
Yes.
So thank you kakhulu apha. Ngoku ndiyafuna before sivale into yoba ngabana bakufumana apha abantu. Asinoyiphosa into yoba abantu bafuna urepresentwa nguwe bathini na. So that if you want, you can share ngokumuntu okubukeleyo.
Yes.
Inspired as well. Asifuna abantu bafuna umentorishwa ke guys. Sifuna abantu bafuna business. Yo, inbox abantu bathi can mentorish. Le i-call ngeyomuntu othi I want you to represent him.
Okay.
With services zakho.
Yeah. So Vovo, I think before I even get there, I think it's important for people to understand in Ndobana. There's a big step between the LLB to admitted attorney.
Yes.
For me, obviously, the decision was, Bongi, you are really senior where you work.
Okay.
So he decision that changed our life.
Okay.
That momentarily it's painful, but I know on the long run, it's going to be to the benefit of myself and for my family. So, ku-2022 ngokuvovo kumanje mos ndiyagrada ndifumana results ndipasile graduation celebration, but the reality you've made the decision that you want to be admitted as an attorney. You've done your almost 20 years in corporate, or safe, or solid. You've got that experience to go with you, so it'll be a nice combination with law, but the reality is, when the articles. The articles mean you must go start from the very bottom. Kumla ngonda ntenda ndi GIT. Dina 14 ngokuvova. Funa nto ba GIT kwakhona.
Yeah.
I said business was the hardest job I had. But being an article clerk in my 40s was the hardest life experience I've had.
Now, go report to Kumdo younger than you as well.
Look, that didn't bother me. The younger than me part was not the hard part, but the being a junior again was the hard part. Again, I said to myself, within the first 3 months of being an article clerk, you have to decide, are you going to do this or are you not going to do it? Because your commitment here 2 years. You are not going to do this 9 months down the line, decide in fact, because I'm not going to waste my time, I'm not going to waste my firm's time, and I'm not going to waste the resources of everybody involved. Within the first, I said, I'm going to make the decision about being an article clerk within the first 3 months. Once that decision is made, it does not matter how hard it is. It does not matter. I'm not sitting here advocating for abantu to take situations hard that affect their mental health and so on to uhlala kwindawo ezibalimazayo. That's not what I'm advocating for. But there is a little bit of me that is saying, maybe there's a little bit of toughening up sometimes. You know? So there's a very fine line between intobana, this is a genuine mental health issue, okanye, we just need to be tough. Mna, being me, and because of my mental toughness, and because of the support I had at home, that decided, articles, you can speak to anyone who's an attorney who's gone through articles. They are not the easiest time. Because you do the bottom of the barrel work, but that's where you're going to learn. That is where the experience is going to come from. Because if you don't put up your hand to go there, to read that or to do that, and taking abuse or dry cleaning, I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about ufumani matter or but the lessons you learn from those things, process, rules, all those things you learn from this, it matters is that you get. But you as and another thing I was very conscious about was I did. Can I mention my firm's name where I did my articles? Yeah. I did my articles at Rashmi Noah Attorneys. It's one of the big firms is like PPE. You could do matters that, like, I was part of matters that I know for a fact that I'm not going to see those kinds of matters in a very long time, because there was a partner at Rashmi. His name is Mr. Stephen Goff.
Okay.
The authority in contract law and that kind of stuff. I mean, the kind of matters that he got are matters in Zaziyom Nango with the kind of experience in Nayan law are not going to come through my table anytime. And then we suke high vovo utwe iya debtors court kumntu obanjwe ityala phale 3,000 rand.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it was those highs and lows. Yeah. The next thing, you're sitting in a matter where the minister has done this or that or the other thing.
Cool,
high profile, So you go through those things, But there are people that made my articles bearable. I mean, and I want to mention them by name as much as I've mentioned other people that have contributed to the person that I was in the logistics space. When I arrived at Rashmi, there was a lady, or there is a lady, but there's a lady, but she's no longer there now. Mabale Masipa.
Okay.
Mabale is the person that taught me a lot of the basics around how the whole law firm thing and how legal matters work. Diafuna mention particularly Mabale. And when I say it, also when people give me feedback, and I'm like, but I was just doing my job. I don't think she realizes impact that she had in the first few weeks when I arrived, before the big matters came and the excitement and stuff like that. The basics of what it means to be a candidate attorney. And I'm really grateful for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank
and then,
you.
As well, and these are black women in spaces that were largely white, that made sure another black woman who was and I'm so much older than these people. These are people that are me when I was a GM. And there are people in their 20s, but obviously they were already admitted attorneys. They'd been doing it for a few years already. They're in their late 20s. But khange bathi hayi wethu lo sisi udikayo buza yonke into.
Yeah.
They bebancinci kangaka andimdala kangaka. Learned a lot from me with my experience coming from corporate, and I learned so much from them. I mean, I even am able to pick up the phone now. Did you feel into Tile? Man, and then we have a discussion. So those are the people that really made articles for me from a professional perspective, you know. That's why I was able to 2 years. And then there's board exams to be written. So it does the learning doesn't stop.
Okay.
The learning did not stop. Civil procedure, UNISA. It was articles, it was board exams. These are Bali exams nangoku.
Okay.
These are Bali exams nangoku. So on the 20th of May this year, I was admitted as an attorney of the High Court.
Ooh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes. So I was able to achieve that dream of the 18-year-old. You know?
Una uzabana 44.
44, yes.
Akho late mhlali. Akukho late.
Yeah. So at 44, I was able to change my whole career.
You.
I can't and I call Lula, but I can say it's doable. It's with the support of the people in my life, both at home, my husband, my children, my mom, my brothers, my whole family, with the support that I had from my colleagues over the years, from my colleagues from a Vector Logistics, from a Clover, from a Fresenius Kabi. I mean, if it was not for their support, I would never be sitting where I'm sitting now, you know. So yeah, I got admitted, and in my time in my articles, I actually decided that I want to go into the commercial law and property law space. The reason why I say I'm still writing exams is because I've still got a conveyancing exam that I'm writing. Yeah, I wrote it last September. There's 2 exams to be written, and I think again, if failure in indlela yoku grounder yoku buyisa buya back, co special, and akhondiza alula. That failed to paper 2 of.
You.
I was devastated. Civil procedure and it was a once off. I thought, it was a fluke. Board exams, passes zonke first time, no problems, no issues. But conveyancing, pass paper 1, paper 2, fail.
So from too.
No, luckily now they allow you to carry Louis Basilei for 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm writing that exam.
Zawama kahle.
Vovo ndiyafunda.
Animambe kahle.
Funeka ihambe kahle. Ndoyika nala mntana aphinda athi yho mama.
Liyazi ixesha lakhe yena.
And ndiyamxelela
Aliyazi lakhe ixesha.
ndithi kaloku wena boy ku-grade 7. Wena uku-grade 7 awunozikhompetha nam grade 7 nam ndandipasile kahle with no problems. So ngoku Vovo, I am working as an attorney at Benga and Associates.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are largely a conveyancing firm.
Okay.
Yes. So when people buy and sell houses, we are the attorneys that facilitate the transfer of those properties. So anything to do with that. I work with Unandi Papa. She's also a notary public. So notary publics they do set up trusts, they do anti-nuptial contracts, and they do notarial deeds, like notarial bonds and stuff like that, or servitudes or something, or things like that. So yeah, that's what we primarily do. We are trying to branch out into commercial law as well. And we do labor law, a little bit of labor law as well. So those are our areas of practice. So yeah, so if people need assistance in those spaces, please, they must hook us up.
We're busy. Nanso into. we can share sizibhala apha details as well.
Yes.
So the team will definitely write it down.
Yes. So she's based in PE, she's in Richmond Hill, but we are able to consult and work throughout the country. If anybody needs assistance from us. So ndikwi learning curve ke ngoku Vovo.
Okay.
Ngikhumbula ngokuya ngo-2005 when ndandiyi-GIT.
Yes.
Ndiklo learning curve ke ngoku
You're going to do well.
of being an attorney. And I say to myself, I've done well with career yokuqala.
Okay.
I've got all the confidence that I will make the best of the second career as well. Failure kuma ayiyo option.
Aye.
When I fall down, I dust myself off and I just continue because andikwazi tu uhlala. Because I've got people, I've got kids, I've got cousins, I've got nephews and nieces abajonge kuthi vovo for indlela yoba life itwana. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yo Jonga, ndi-touched, ndi-inspired. I am happy siyenzile lento. I know baninzi abantu bazaba inspired kakhulu. Because abantu ba kula crossroad yoba
Yes.
dithini.
Yeah.
Ukhona abantu baphilela for abantwana babo, baphilela
Yes.
for imizi.
Yeah.
But wena ngoku ubashukumisile ngale episode.
Yes.
Le episode ithi no man bazawuxoxa. Utata nomama uzawuxoxa ngoku ebhedini. baby nam ndiyafuna ubuyela back kulaa nto ndandifuna uyenza. Komnye it could be medicine.
Yes.
Komnye it could be engineering.
Yes.
Ezinye izinto zi-different. But
Yeah.
umntu utshilo ngokuba elaa phupho wawunalo at 18.
Yes.
In your late 30s wadecide noba ufuna back. Now
Yes.
kwi-40s, mid-40s ngoku uyayiphila.
I'm living my dream.
Thank you so much. Ngenye game kuzafuneke siphinde siyibone sithetha ngento ze-trust.
Yes.
Because nam as umuntu oromolayo ndithetha a lot ngazo
Yes.
apha endlini into yoba ngabana I'm worried uba if ndiyasweleka
Estate planning.
Yes,
Yes,
zonke
very
ezo zinto.
important.
Yeah,
Very important.
sizawuthetha into yoba mhlawumbi ungamane usiza, you teach people ezo nto.
Yes, definitely. I'm more than welcome to do that.
So sibe nee-segments ezithile where ngoku asaku-introduce uyabaphatha abantu ngaloo nto.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would really appreciate it because I think Vovo in our area of work siyazibona ezi zinto where estate planning is missing,
Okay.
you know, and ibe imess. Abe umuntu eshiya minor children. Ibe imess. I don't want to get into it now. Obviously, when I'm back, we can sit and we can talk about those things.
No,
but I think it's an important subject to have, definitely.
Okay. No, nakanjani ngiyabahlali le nto.
Yes.
So sesiyazi nje bizaba khona leyo
Yes.
where uyaqhuba nje apha.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We've come to an end. Siyabulela umuntu obukeleyo. If uyaqala uba lapha, please subscribe and like uPhikelela podcast. And siyavuya uba ngabana nizile kwiPhikelela podcast enqindilile. You know, hey man, excited kakhulu. Ndiyavuya man bawuzile and ndive kamandi.
Enkosi kakhulu for having me. I was very nervous, but I'm happy that I put myself out there. But I think I said to you, "Hi Luvuyo, you internet."
That's abantu bazabatouched, and I'm sure people will agree.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks. Dabulela man, gents. Thank you so much.